So today we're going to go over helping verbs and questions. You may have noticed that in the previous exercises, often there would be a verb and then there would be something next to it, which was another verb. For instance, he was running, or he is running, or he might have been running. So all of these little words are what we call helping verbs. And they help the verb in its meaning. They give it slight differences. Now, it's similar to how an adjective and an adverb modifies, how an adverb will modify an adjective, adverb, or a verb, and how an adjective will modify a noun or pronoun. It's very similar, okay? But there's not really a modification going on. It's more, it's slightly different. So just think of it as helping rather than modification. Now, the helping verbs are actually in English, we can memorize them. There aren't that many. So here's a list of them down here. So may, can, must, might, shall, will, should, would, could, have, do, be, right? And there are slight differences in meaning, for instance, than should, would, could, which you'll study later on, or you can look up now. But if we look at have, do, be, so have has conjugations, right? The verb changes depending on how you're using it. She has, she had, he is having, right? Do includes did, right? He did, right? It's in the past tense. Be, which is our, remember, it's when we look at the verb is, everyone always forgets that is a verb. It's one of the most important verbs, okay? And especially when it helps, it can add a lot of meaning sometimes. So it's conjugated. These are the conjugations for be. So am, are, is, was, were, being, been. Okay, so what you're going to see many times in many sentences, you make these sentences all the time. We're going to see things like he may be studying. Hopefully he is, right? He might be studying, right? He should be studying. He could be studying, okay? He has been studying. All of these have slightly different meanings. So these helping verbs come and they change the verb studying, right? They change the meaning slightly. And that's why it's very similar to modification. So what we want to do is memorize this list of helping verbs. There's only, I don't know, like 12, something like that. Very easy to memorize. And use them, okay? And we're going to learn that, for instance, he has been studying, right? That means that there was an action occurring in the past continuously, right? Maybe he had, or if I said he had been studying, right? Same thing. There was an action in the past occurring continuously. Maybe he had been studying for his test. We could also say, for instance, he did study. It means that for a small period of time, right, for half an hour, what have you, he was he was studying. I don't want to say he had been studying, but he did study for his test. Okay, but it doesn't imply the same amount of time frame. So you see, just by changing very slightly, we change these helping verbs, we get differences in meaning. Okay, now the next thing that we have in the book are questions. Now, questions are going to be a little strange, okay? And basically what we do is we have a question, and remember, we're learning to diagram here. So we have a question. In order to diagram it, we have to rearrange the sentence so that it's like a normal declarative statement, okay? So has Joe been here? We change that to Joe has been here. then we diagram. This is a lot easier. You can diagram it just as it is as a question, but you might get confused. So now we see, okay, Joe is the subject. Has been, that's the whole verb. So the helping verb plus the main verb. We're going to diagram those in the verb place. And then here is, what question does it answer, right? Where. So it's an adverb, right? Now notice, this is very important. If we have multiple helping verbs, so has been, when we create a question, those helping verbs are going to split. So look, has Joe been here, right? So sorry, we have one helping verb, not many, but it would be the same if we had many helping verbs. So we have the main verb been, and then we have has, which is the helping verb. My mistake. Then we have would you have done that? So here we have many helping verbs. Would you have done that? So two helping verbs, have and would, and then the main verb, done. So basically, if you have a helping verb and you make a question, you take the helping verb and put it first. So has Joe been here? If you have many helping verbs, only one, right? The first helping verb will be put first. So would you have done that? How do we change that to a normal sentence? You would have done that. So the first helping verb, would, goes to the beginning. So what you have to do for this exercise, just change them all into normal sentences, okay? And also, I would say, underline the helping verbs so you get practice. So why did he leave? Where's the helping verb? Where's the main verb? Main verb, leave, right? Helping verb, did, right? Always identify, if you can, the subject and main verb, then everything else, right? Look for the two pillars of the sentence. The main verb, and then the subject, okay? So change all of these into normal sentences, then diagram.